Hello everyone and welcome back to Brutal Truth. And real quick before we get started, I would just like to say that I've made a Facebook page and an Instagram for this YouTube channel. So if you'd like to keep up with me a little bit more, feel free to go like and follow those. Links will be in the description. Anyways, today we'll be covering the history of scootering, and the craziest part about it all is that literally all of it has happened within my lifetime. The development of tricks and pro model decks, the rise of professional riders, and the beginning of it being legitimized as a sport. All of it has happened in less than the time than I have been alive. I was born in 1992, and the very first modern kick scooter was made in 1996 by a company in Switzerland called Micro Mobility Systems. This is the very same scooter that would go on to eventually be known as the Razor scooter.
If you want to have real fun, you better have the scooter that can handle it. How you gonna do wheelies without a wheelie bar? Sharper Image is the only place you can get the authentic original wheelie razor, color-coordinated grips, matching non-skid surface, and the exclusive wheelie bar for better control and advanced tricks.
They would become very popular in the streets of Asia because they provided a fun way of transportation across short distances. And because they had the ability to fold up, they were very easy for both students and workers to store in lockers while not in use. The company saw the potential for this to become a huge business worldwide, and very soon Razor scooters were released across America in the year 2000, and instantly became a craze among young children. I remember when this happened, and trust me when I say, it went from never seeing a scooter in my life to literally every single kid on the block owning one almost overnight. Over the next few years, scooters would gain the reputation of being the so-called sport of tiny children, taking over skate parks all over the world. And for some, this would form a deep hatred for scooters among a portion of the skateboarding community. But little did we know that there were those out there taking this thing seriously. And I mean seriously. Tail whips, bar spins, and basic rotations were among some of the early tricks to be done on a scooter, but it didn't take long before they were adopting things like rail slides from skateboarding and backflips from BMX. And it would not stop there, because from then to now, a vast array of tricks strictly for scooters has been developed by scooter riders all over the world. And what happens when you have something to ride and tricks to do on it? Well, you begin to see professionals pop up, of course, and with the earliest of them that I can remember being Dakota Shoots. And with the emergence of a professional level of riding, it wasn't long before better equipment became a necessity. There are only but so many times you can do a backflip on a folding scooter from Walmart before some malfunctions begin to occur.
The scooters have a real problem with durability. When they start doing the bigger tricks like tail whips or scooter flips or backflips, they start either ripping the back ends off the scooter decks or tearing the front ends off and damaging the forks and handlebars. And so what we had to do was, we were going through so many scooters all the time, and so we started reinforcing our own stuff, and then there's a person that started making some aftermarket parts for the front ends of the scooters, and so we started to put those into play and really solved a lot of the problems.
In the early stages of scootering, pro riders and even those just having some amateur fun were forced to construct more heavy-duty scooters of their own because at the time, high-quality scooter parts quite simply did not exist. Riders started replacing the folding locks on their Razors with bolts and designing handlebars of their own out of more heavy-grade aluminum. Very early on, Dakota actually had a rig made so that he could run BMX bars on his scooter, in the hopes that they would have less chance of bending compared to your average straight bar design that most scooters have. This process would continue for quite some time, with any kid out there that wanted to ride at a high level being able to do nothing but make modification after modification to cheap $20 scooters from retail stores. Until one day, an American man in the state of Oregon by the name of Matt Tom would change all of that.
I just knew that there was a sport here, and I call it sport because that's what really makes it legitimate. That's what just makes it an actual, real, legitimate sporting good instead of a toy. And that's what I wanted to do, is change it to the real piece of actual sporting goods equipment, or whatever you want to call it, but it's the high grade one. It's the top of the line. It's the competition model. It's the one that only the professional riders ride on. And that's what I wanted to do.
he would be the one to design and produce the very first professional scooter deck. And in 2008, he would then brand them with the name TSI, which stands for Trick Scooters International, and has been mass producing and selling them across the globe ever since. Since then, plenty of other high-quality scooter brands have made their way onto the field, and the popularity and progression of the sport has gone nowhere but up. The hatred for scooters from those early days still lingers in some people, but with riders like Ryan Williams being accepted by groups like Nitro Circus, it is becoming harder and harder for people to deny the talent that exists within scooter riding. I personally believe that Ryan is playing a crucial role in the rest of the world accepting this new fad as a legitimate action sport, because honestly, it is much more than a fad, and scootering is obviously here to stay. Ryan travels the world year-round performing in the Nitro Circus live show and inspiring kids everywhere to pick up a scooter each and every day. And I believe that although it may be on a BMX bike, Ryan will be the first scooter rider to ever ride in the X Games. And it will be because of him and his influence that the X Games will eventually be forced into making scootering its own event. If you would like to hear about why this is possible, or maybe already share the same belief, be sure to go check out my other video on why Ryan Williams should be at the X Games. Trust me, you'll love it. Ryan did. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and be sure to leave suggestions in the comments of videos you would like to see in the future. And real quick, I would just like to thank everyone that has been supporting this channel so far. It is because of you guys that Ryan Williams himself is subscribed, and seeing as he is the entire reason I started doing this, I could not feel more accomplished. For those of you watching that haven't subscribed yet, please do so because it would help me so much at becoming better and better at this. Either way, I'm pumping out videos as hard as I can go, and I will continue to do so, but I'm not too proud to say that I could really use your help as well. Any like, any share, any subscriber, it all counts towards something greater one day, and literally any effort that you can give towards growing this channel is deeply appreciated. Thank you for your support, thank you for watching, and as always, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell everyone you know that here at Brutal Truth you'll get the opinions you won't hear anywhere else.